It has been a long, wild, and vibrant ride for Britain's three-piece rock group Muse. There are many rock fans who will always love one band and bash another, but it seems like at one point or another, Muse always connects with a listener in one album. After a long recording and writing process that started in early 2017, we finally have the 8th full album, Simulation Theory. If the album artwork wasn't an indicator, this new album is heavily influenced from 80s synth and will have an overwhelming electronic presence as opposed to the guitar and bass combo. They played around with this a bit in 2012's The Second Law, which I liked, but Simulation Theory is a complete immersion into the electronic and synthesized format. I have been a fan of Muse since 2004, and while I have not loved everything the band has done, such as the 2015 album Drones, which really disappointed me, I'm still of the mindset that these Brits are extremely creative music writers and are able to pull off much more than a standard rock band. So on paper, an electronic and synthesized album isn't a far-out idea. This digital style is a bit of a fad now, with many bands after the surge of 80s nostalgia in music, film, and TV thanks in part due to Stranger Things. There are many groups who have been working for a while and reached mainstream status that are also following this suit. When a bigger name like Muse tries to jump headfirst into the pool, however, there will obviously be higher expectations. When I heard the first 3 released singles before the album dropped, being Thought, Contagion, Dig Down, and Something Human, I had a range of reactions for each. I thought Dig Down was weak, Something Human was okay, and Thought Contagion was the best of the 3. That rundown of reactions to different songs also reflects throughout the tracks in this entire album. Thought Contagion got success on Billboard's mainstream rock chart and is one of the standouts. It's a short track and it really gives a strong example of what to expect through the entirety of Simulation Theory. In the opening of Algorithm and The Dark Side, you'll hear some solid singing and writing from Bellamy and a ton of synthesized styled music. As the album progresses, the music goes from electronic rock to a full-on 80s electro, trance, synth, dubstep, pop album that is a far cry from the days of Absolution and Black Holes and Revelations. When you find out that the Shellback and Timbaland were co-producers on this album, it only leads to more head-scratching and where exactly the derailment came from Muse's sound a few years ago. There are several times where the electronic side of the album does work and something good comes out of it. Then the following song is a maddening electronic synthwave disaster. You might get a decent rock anthem like Get Up and Fight, but then you'll get something like Propaganda that sounds like a DJ got drunk and another drunk guy got a hold of a Casio keyboard. The lyric writing wanes a bit as the album goes on and really gets generic. Muse has kind of fallen victim to that for a while. There are decent moments in songs like Blockade that has excellent drumming, or Break It To Me and The Dark Side which has great singing performances, but then you have tracks like Pressure and The Void where they just went wild, dumping in sound effects and it's all a mess. It's a shame because Muse has proven their creativity in the past when going outside the box, but this is such a hit-and-miss listening experience. You can understand the direction on paper, but the finished product might have been saved if Muse would have laid off the synth-pop and electronica even slightly at points. There are good moments, but for every highlight there is also a moment where you shake your head in confusion. Kind of tell what Muse was going for here, but Muse, along with many other bands this year, are going after this fad of 80s synth rock, and it just doesn't offer that much replay value. And that's a shame for a band as creative as Muse. Overall, Simulation Theory has moments of clarity, but it's drowned out by every digital sound effect and synthesized keyboard note you can imagine. Every time Muse seems to be on track for something solid, they kill their own momentum by overindulging in software mixing. It doesn't feel like Muse, and it doesn't sound like Stranger Things. It just falls by the wayside and will eventually be forgotten.